is actually a virus and it destroys the clones. They also get another new Zord, the Astrozord.
Wow! The Astrozord is epic!
And what happens next is really weird. Not what the Rangers do, they simply land the finishing blow. But listen to the background music and see if you recognize it.
Activate!
That's the Dino Charge theme song. Like, what are we even doing here? They're not even trying to hide it or play a small sample. No, it's just straight up the Dino Charge theme. Why? It's not like this is Operation Overdrive, where anything is better than the main theme. The Ninja Steel song is actually decent. This just makes me want to watch Dino Charge.
Ninjas win!
With the ending of the episode dropping a bombshell. In the last episode, Madame Odious was holding someone prisoner and imbuing them with the 6th Power Star. And this episode has the Astrozord blasting at Galvanax's ship, allowing them to morph and head to Earth. They make the news when the ship lands, where everyone sees a Gold Ranger. Gold Rush. Everyone but Brody are excited to meet a country music star, Levi Weston. The fan meetup is interrupted though when the Kudabot attack. They get into a fight with Brody saving Levi. During the scuffle, Levi's manager gets hit and we see his briefcase containing the Gold Power Star. Levi admires Brody's bravery and for also treating him like a person instead of a celebrity. So, he hires Brody as his bodyguard, where the two of them start to get along and become friends. Meanwhile, Ripcon has abducted Levi's manager, thinking he's the Gold Ranger. The others get wind of this but get caught in a trap. And when the manager breaks free, he runs away. Shockingly, he's not the Gold Ranger. But just then, someone grabs the Gold Power Star. Yup, Levi. Where with it?
Gold Ninja! Power Star! Ready! Rhythm of the Ninja! Ninja Steel Gold!
He transforms into the Gold Ranger. Weirdly enough, his suit is cowboy themed. The cowboy hat and poncho design are really cute. Plus, he's got a sword that not only doubles as a blaster, but triples as a guitar. Where with his yeehaw powers, he sends Rip fleeing. The episode ends with Mick creating 2 more Power Stars for Levi, one of which being his Zord. We also learn how he got his powers. One day he was writing music, and the Ninja Nexus Prism just showed up in front of him. Here you go, you're the Gold Ranger. Kinda random, but sure, where he was immediately abducted by Madame Odious and put into a device, but eventually saved by the Astrozord. So, yeah, Levi's the 6th Ranger. He seems nice enough. Just like the other characters though, there's not really much to work off of yet. His suit is easily the coolest thing about him. We need more Yeehaw Power Rangers. Rocking and rolling. Levi takes everyone backstage while he sets up for a concert.
This is epic!
Where he reveals that he's going on a 3-month tour, which the Rangers are not happy about. Why? He's helped you with 1 fight. They get called to fight, but Levi prioritizes getting ready for a concert instead. The Rangers head to the villain's location and, well, fight. They learn that the monster is going to be caving in Levi's concert from underground. Why? What grand plan does this serve? The destruction starts and Levi jumps into action, saving a little girl, and possibly realizing that being a ranger is music. So, he meets up with the rest of the Rangers, and together they destroy the monster, while also taking a selfie. I forgot to mention that Levi's phone is a burger, which in the Sentai is apparently the Morpher. Bro, we were so robbed. The monster grows big and he summons his Zord, a robot riding a bull, where with it, they once again destroy the monster. The episode ends with Levi announcing he's canceling his tour to instead focus on going to high school. With his new friends, he's ready for this new chapter in his life. The Ranger Ribbon. So there's this ribbon tree where people tie their hopes and dreams to it, but an evil, greedy businessman comes to tear it down to build a skyscraper. This man just so happens to be Preston's father. He tells Preston to get in his car and stop mother to gaslight him into thinking he's doing the wrong thing.
I was just glad your mother's not around to see this.
So the main plot, kinda, has Preston needing to stand up to his father, which he eventually does. And just then, a ribbon falls in their hands, showing that many years ago, Preston's parents came here to celebrate the birth of their new son, opening his father's eyes and realizing he was being a jerk. I like that the ribbon just magically falls into their hands. Because they don't outright say that Preston's magic caused it to happen, there's actually no indication of that at all, but we know that his magic is powered through his strong emotions. So my headcanon is that Preston subconsciously summoned magic to help his father see the light. Or maybe I'm giving Ninja Steel too much credit. The Rangers are celebrating the birth of the new Ribbon Tree Park funded by Preston's dad, when someone shows up.
I'm Aiden, your brother.
Poisonous plots. So yeah, Aiden's here. He recaps the show so far to prove that he knows what's going on, and he's very eager to see the command center. This guy's evil. Mick says no, but he allows Aiden to join in training, where he's too aggressive and unapologetic. This guy's evil. During a fight with a monster, Brody gets hit with some poison that's slowly draining his life, and Madame Odious says she'll give them the antidote if they give up the Power Stars, with Aiden being a little too eager to have the Rangers give them up, blaming Haley and Levi. So feeling bad, Haley and Levi sneak the Rangers' Power Stars and will make the trade themselves. They do, but it's revealed they made chocolate duplicates. Luckily, they still got their hands on the potion. They cure Brody and get into a fight, where once again, during the Megazord's final strike, they play a different song. The Samurai Megaforce theme, which again, I like so I won't complain, but this one's kinda unique, because it ends with the Dino Charge song.
Ah, yeah! Show's over! Ninjas win!
It goes kinda hard, but why is it here? Anyway, the episode ends with Aiden apologizing for being evil. I'm sorry, I mean being a jerk. And 15 seconds later, we cut to Aiden on Galvanax's ship, showing that he's evil and working for Madame Odious. Family fusion. So yes, to the shock of no one, Aiden is evil. The school's having a talent show, with Brody and Aiden singing a song that their dad used to sing to them. Levi's getting a Power Star worked on, and Aiden finds the secret entrance to the command center, where he starts blasting. Meanwhile, the others are cool. Odious has been Ripcon since the beginning, slowly trying to build tension between him and Galvanax so there's one less general in her way. Where Brody uses the new Fusion Power Star to combine all the Rangers' strengths into one blow, forcing Ripcon to retreat. Meanwhile, Aiden is still blasting at Levi. He's able to reflect a shot back at him, revealing a robotic body. The rest of the Rangers show up, and when they see this, they mercilessly blast without a second thought, while seemingly transferring something into Levi. Brody's naturally sad. This isn't very epic. Galvanax is sick of Ripcon and gives him one last chance at redemption, growing him big to fight the Rangers, where with their new combination disc, they can combine both the Ninja Steel Megazord and Levi's Megazord, whose name I can't remember. Where with it, they land the final blow on Ripcon, while the Power Rangers Samurai song plays again. The episode ends with Brody playing his song at the talent show without his brother. However, Levi is having crazy headaches and flashbacks, where he starts to recognize Brody's song, realizing he knows it, heading to the stage to sing along with his brother.
Aiden!
Yes, Levi is Aiden. He went into hiding like his father told him to, where his music started to become famous, and Levi Weston was a household name, but not Aiden. He was hiding in plain sight, which also makes sense as to why the Prism chose Levi in the first place. It was kind of random that it chose him, where he was then kidnapped, had his brain wiped, and downloaded into a robot. But now his memory's back, and the brothers are back together. And they're still going to call him Levi for some reason. So since Levi's introduction, I guess this was kind of a mini arc. I do like this twist. I just wish they played off of the fake Aiden a bit more. Maybe make him actually likable and a real punch to the gut when we find out that he's actually a villain. Ace and the Race. So this is Ace, a cool guy, unironically wearing a leather jacket like he's a greaser from the 60s. Bro, it's 2017, he's a cool guy, he should look like this. He has a cool car and Calvin's a big fan. The gang are going on a relay race, but he instead chooses to help Ace with his car. Meanwhile, a monster comes down disguised as a human to team up with Brody and Aiden, where with his evil baton, he turns them insanely competitive, only caring about competition and winning. This is the mother of all filler episodes. Eventually, the monster turns everyone but Aiden and Brody into trophies, and Calvin learns that Ace isn't really his friend. He's a big fat phony not knowing anything about cars. Now, the moral of the episode is supposed to be Calvin realizing that he shouldn't ditch his true friends. However, him ditching his friends allowed him to not be turned into a trophy, where in order to save everyone, they need to have a three-legged race.
Teamwork is epic!
Where doing this somehow frees everyone from their trophy forms. Calvin apologizes, but all is forgiven. Can we get one more for the road?
Helping us work together in that race. It was epic.
The royal rival. Princess Viera, the princess of the Lion Galaxy, makes an appearance, where along with Lord Drillion, they vow to destroy the Rangers. So they head to Earth and get into a fight. Lord Drillion is incredibly powerful. No matter the numbers or weapons, the Rangers are no match. During the scuffle, Princess Viera takes a hit, and Sarah saves her not knowing who she is, which catches Viera off guard. She tells Drillion to retreat and tells Galvanax she wants to observe the Rangers more. She finds Sarah and is fascinated by her kindness. A kid steals some cookies from her and Viera wants punishment, but Sarah chooses to hear the kid out and realizes he's down on his luck and just needs help. Viera slowly learning that kindness is a stronger weapon than punishment. Sarah realizes she's Princess Viera, but she's seemingly turned over a new leaf. However, Galvanax told Drillion that Viera is weak, and that he has what it takes to rule the Lion Galaxy. So Drillion fights both the Rangers and the Princess. Drillion is too powerful. No matter what the Rangers throw at him, it's not enough. So Princess Viera leaves to come back with a secret weapon. Drillion grows big, and that's when Viera makes her return, blasting him with her lion ship. However, it takes some damage and comes crashing down to Earth. Princess Viera walking away. The Royal Rumble. Princess Viera finds her way into the command center. She says she's changed and truly wants to be like the Rangers. Her ship is broken and they ask Mick to help, but he says no. Mick is from the Lion Galaxy, where the king and queen sold its citizens into slavery, with Mick being one of them, saying because of that he hasn't seen his parents in 20 years. Princess Viera says that her family is ruthless, and she believes she needed to walk in those footsteps in order to be a successful queen. However, meeting the Rangers has changed her beliefs, promising to rule with kindness instead of an iron fist that can only be positive for the galaxy. Mick is still hesitant, but willing to trust her. The Rangers fight Drillion once again. Still, he's incredibly powerful, with Viera and Mick creating a new power star. They give it to Brody, and with it...
Out of the fire and into the fight! Lion Fire Red!
He's given a new battleizer, the Lion Fire Armor. In terms of battleizers, it may be the coolest looking one, mainly because there's no roller skates or obnoxious armor pieces that are too big. But I think Brody explains it perfectly.
Lion Fire Mode is epic!
Where with its new fiery power, Brody is able to destroy Drillion. He grows big, but luckily Mick and Viera have more power stars, this one summoning her ship to create the Lion Fire Zord. Where with it, they destroy Drillion once and for all.
That was epic!
The episode ends with Princess Viera phoning home to Mick's parents, allowing for a nice family reunion. Viera apologizes and says she plans to rule the Lion Galaxy with kindness, a true change in the regime. I actually like this two-parter because stuff actually happens. Princess Viera and Mick knock it out of the park. Viera's road to redemption was really fun, and Mick choosing to forgive the kingdom who made him a slave is also powerful. The Rangers, though, just played a background part, as per usual. Monkey business. Calvin and Haley are running for class president. Calvin only doing it because Haley said he can be irresponsible sometimes, which again is cute. A couple does have arguments like this. Naturally, it starts off friendly, but slowly becomes overly competitive. Only worse when a monster who people's voices starts gaslighting the Rangers, impersonating the others. It's a whatever filler episode. The moral of the story is that you shouldn't believe everything you hear. Sure. The Adventures of Redbot. Redbot has a blog.
Oh, I do love the internet!
Me too, buddy. He uses the blog to tell stories of his adventures, but he stretches the truth to make it sound like he was the hero, which kinda irks Levi.
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Anyway, a famous book company wants to turn Redbot stories into a book series and make him rich and famous. Redbot stories are beloved by everyone. Now here's where it gets kinda dumb. Redbot is telling a story of when Levi's concert was attacked. That same little girl who was saved by Levi says, "Oh, I know this story." Redbot acknowledges that and continues to lie and says he saved her. Bad optics. Anyway, a monster shows up and puts a freezing spell on everyone except Redbot, where he immediately frees the Rangers, save the little girl who ran off, and the Rangers destroy the monster, and Redbot apologizes for his lies. But just then, the little girl was on the news saying how Redbot really did save her. He is a hero, allowing him to still have adoring fans. Consequences who? Personally, I would have liked it a bit more if maybe Redbot had to fight the monster on his own, actually saving the day, but not getting the cheers and admiration since everyone was frozen. Learning that being a hero isn't just about fame and fortune. Abracadanger. Princess Viera gives Preston a gift, a spell book. She tells him the book is full of powerful yet complicated spells, and that he needs to learn them in order. So naturally, he ignores that to look for the fun spells, where shockingly, he can't control them and accidentally turns Haley invisible, where Mick gives another Karate Kid lesson about how there's no shortcuts in life. So Preston speedruns the book to master the spells, turning Haley back to normal to destroy the monster and play tennis. Yeah, this episode has a tennis subplot. Do you care? Helping hand. Okay, so the auto shop is doing extra credit for inventions, where Victor and Monty have created a powerful magnet, one that can sense and attract any kind of metal out there. It's actually functional and they get an A. Later at the command center, the Ninja Nexus Prism shows a vision of some kind of Ultra Zord. However, they're running low on Ninja Steel, and if they want to continue making new Power Stars, they'll need to melt some of their current stars to revert it back to Ninja Steel, meaning they'll lose those Power Stars forever. Naturally, the best solution is to find more Ninja Steel, but it's a rare material. Mick has been searching the entire galaxy but can't find a trace of it. A monster attacks and the Rangers get into a fight. Mick has also found the last of their Ninja Steel to create one more Power Star, combining all of the Zords to create the Ninja Steel Ultra Zord, where with it they destroy the monster. Later that day, Mick was able to locate an asteroid carrying Ninja Steel. He tells the Rangers they can take the Astro Zord to retrieve it. But just then, Victor and Monty continue to use their giant magnet, where it senses the Ninja Steel in the Power Stars, and they all come flying to them. And then, the little camera fly just so happens to be at the school to witness this, and Galvanax instantly teleports there and takes the magnet along with all the Power Stars, taking Victor and Monty hostage as well, leading into the season finale of Power Rangers Ninja Steel. Not the end, sadly. We still have Super Ninja Steel. But yeah, not exactly an earth-shattering cliffhanger. Victor and Monty, the annoying comedic duo, accidentally got their hands on the Rangers Power Stars. Galvanax rises. Rangers catch wind of this and show up to fight, where they're immediately overpowered. Galvanax kidnaps the Rangers apart from Brody, Mick telling him to summon the motorcycle and drive away. Meanwhile, Victor and Monty are working under Madame Odious, telling them to create a stronger magnet, where with it, they'll destroy Galvanax. This was Madame Odious's plan all along, but when she also mentions destroying the Rangers, the duo don't like that, now planning their escape. Meanwhile, Mick and Brody got away. Brody is tired of running from Galvanax though, wanting to save his friends and fight. Just then, Galvanax shows up and says he'll free his friends if Brody gives up his Power Star. Brody, realizing the gravity of his situation, remembering his father gave up his life to make sure this power didn't fall into the wrong hands. With Brody making his decision, he throws his Power Star into the air and strikes it, breaking it into 3 pieces, where the Ninja Nexus Prism shows up and recovers them into 3 Red Ranger Power Stars. The prism becomes sentient and starts blasting at Galvanax, freeing the other Rangers and morphing Brody, but he's now not the only Red Ranger.
You're a Ranger!
Which is really charming. When Kelson Henderson first showed up as Boom, his character wanted nothing more than to be a Ranger, even dreaming of being the fictional Orange Ranger. And now, all these years later, he's officially a Red Ranger. And there's still a 3rd Red Ranger. Yup, Brody and Levi's dad. His life energy was trapped inside the prism, and with the new Red Ranger star, it was able to give him a physical form once again. And with all 8 Rangers together... Yo, why is the song extra metal now? Where was this the whole time?
Rangers, fear no danger!
They take the fight to Galvanax, where now he's easily outclassed. So to even the fight, he melts all the Power Stars into Ninja Steel and ingests it, granting him unfathomable power. Back on the ship, because we don't want to continue this fun action, Victor and Monty. They found some Kudabot costumes and are trying to sneak out. They get caught. Luckily, Monty ate too much of the prison slop, making him very farty. And that's how they get away. They finish building the magnet though, so Madame Odious puts her plan into motion. Galvanax grew big, but she uses the magnet to suck him up into the ship. But the magnet's power is able to bring the Ninja Steel meteor towards them, and it destroys the ship and everyone on board. But luckily the Rangers have a flashy final move to hit, where with it, Galvanax is destroyed. The Earth is safe. However, the Rangers' Power Stars melt. Ninja Steel is incredibly unstable, and that powerful attack took everything it had. The Ninja Steel Rangers are no more. Which is... sad? The episode ends with Victor and Monty getting an interview for surviving the alien spaceship. They allude to the farts being the secret weapon, and the interviewer's like, "Man, you could probably make a lot of money with alien repellent." which catches their attention. I swear to God, if the next season focuses on ways for them to sell farts, I'm gonna lose my mind. Mick is going back to the Lion Galaxy to see his family after all these years. And everyone else just sings Kumbaya. But wait, there's of course the cliffhanger. We go to their destroyed ship and see that Madame Odious is still alive, where Power Rangers Ninja Steel comes to an end. Now, of course, this still being the Nickelodeon era, we still have another super season to get through. Super Ninja Steel. But before we do, I want to give my thoughts on the show so far. I don't have any. This season is so painfully nothing. By this point, I would at least care about one of the Rangers, but here, I don't care about any of them. Maybe Sarah because damn! But overall, this season really feels like Mighty Morphin Season 1, which I haven't said in a while. We have a lot of surface level, fortune cookie, moral of the day crap. Nobody does anything. Remember, it was Victor and Monty who triggered this entire finale. They helped Galvanax get the Power Star, and they also built a super magnet that destroyed the ship. When your cursed Yowie duo are accidentally more competent than your main villain and main heroes, you have a problem. Also, Brody saying epic is so cringy, and everyone else is boring. Now, I do have something interesting to note. Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel would also be celebrating the 25th anniversary of Power Rangers, and they'd actually do something with it, giving us an anniversary episode. Now, you'll have to forgive me if my expectations are rock bottom after their last anniversary, but I've heard it's actually pretty good. And it's the only thing to note to come from Ninja Steel. So, while we're still gonna go through every episode, you may notice the summaries being less and less descriptive. But that's only because the show itself isn't giving me anything to work with. The idea of 20 more episodes of what we just saw doesn't excite me. So with that in mind, let's check out Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. Echoes of Evil. We start off with a wormhole opening up, where we see Sledge and his crew. Are we watching the right show? So, okay, this is completely out of nowhere. If you'll recall, at the end of Dino Charge, a wormhole opened up that was going to devour Sledge's ship and Earth, when Keeper then used the Energems to go back in time. The Sledge they defeated at the end of Dino Charge was a past version of Sledge, and this Sledge is the original, confirming Dino Charge takes place in a separate universe. He finds the Galaxy Warrior ship and plans to strip it for resources, where he runs into Madame Odious and her crew. They make a deal. Sledge wants the asteroid containing Ninja Steel, and in exchange, he'll fix the Galaxy Warrior ship, where one of Sledge's prisoners, Badonna, betrays him, informing Madame Odious that the asteroid actually has Ninja Steel, and that she wants to work for her now. So Odious takes the Ninja Steel, Sledge fixes the ship, and gets nothing more than a giant rock for his troubles. And that's it for Sledge. Back on Earth, Monty and Victor are indeed selling alien repellent, aka farts. Odious wants the Ninja Nexus Prism not knowing it's completely destroyed, so the Rangers, even without their power, plan to stand and fight against her. However, they're quickly overpowered. It turns out that the asteroid has a material stronger than Ninja Steel. Prism. The Rangers break free and continue to fight, where their newly revived Prism shoots out all of their old power stars, but now stronger because of the Super Steel. Morph and fight the monster, bing bang boom, yada yada yada, same old same old. The Rangers are back, and on the farts. This certainly was an opening episode. Moment of truth. It's Haley and Calvin's anniversary, but Calvin forgot, choosing to lie as to not upset his girlfriend. And just then, Madame Odious sends down a lie monster who gets his strength from lies. Mick learns how the monster works, which forces Calvin to admit that he forgot their anniversary. Haley understands that Calvin's a bit forgetful, but what hurts more is that he lied. But she forgives him for coming clean. They confront the monster again. Bing bang boom. Happy ending. Tough love. A girl is singing a bunch of Levi's songs, where he gets a little crush on her, and immediately revealing that she's a monster. So, there's no tension. The girl makes Levi change his style completely, and everyone's like, hey man, you shouldn't change who you are for a crush. She's then able to brainwash him, and the Rangers fight. Bing bang boom. Levi's saved and learns that he should always be himself.
I shouldn't have changed who I am just to please someone else.
Yeah, sure, why not? Making waves. There's an annual shark catching contest where Sarah's mom and Haley's dad use their brains and skills to help, slowly falling for each other, which Haley and Sarah don't like. So they sabotage their date, and now they don't like each other. A monster attacks, and it turns out they need their parents' combined talents to build a device. This is stupid. The Rangers can never do anything by themselves. It's either the parents or Victor and Monty accidentally. And who cares about Haley and Sarah's parents? These irrelevant one-off characters? Anyway, their device is then somehow magically able to become a new Zord. The Sub-Surfer Zord.
This is epic!
Oh, I thought it couldn't get any worse. The only interesting thing to note here is that the show now randomly has a new version of Go-Go Power Rangers.
Ninja Super Steel Blaster!
Making it more universal, so it doesn't say Rangers Together, Samurai Forever.
Slash! Final attack!
I kinda dig it. I guess they can now use this song in any Power Ranger season from here on out. Spoilers, they never use it after Ninja Steel. Anyway, they destroy the monster and, I don't know, probably some stupid moral somewhere. Game plan. Everyone's playing the hot new game, Game Goblin. This is the kind of thing Glep plays on his iPad. But surprise, it's actually a trap from Madame Odious. It sends down a monster that gets its strength from the high scores of everyone. It's the whole game bad thing.
We gotta stop everyone from playing. Wow, these kids are totally hooked.
Wow, thank you, Power Rangers. You went somewhere no one has ever bravely gone. Video game bad. That's it. I told you, there's nothing going on in this show. Unless you really want to dive into Victor and Monty shenanigans. Which, I don't. Attack of the Galactic Ninjas. Madame Odious summons a strong group to fight the Rangers, the Galactic Ninjas. Now they set this up to be like some kind of multi-parter, powerful faction to rival the Rangers, but it doesn't matter, they might as well be one-off Monster of the Day enemies. Because we mainly focus on Calvin and Haley. Haley's spending a lot of time with Preston, with Calvin worrying. It turns out Haley and Preston are playing Romeo and Juliet in a school play, and Haley won't tell Calvin because it's a surprise, is being cast in the Calvin's worrying that Haley's cheating on him, and then a galactic ninja shows up to fight. He's literally an afterthought. The Rangers and destroy him first try. And they all lived happily ever after. The need for speed. Sarah is trying to break the fastest hoverboard world record. I thought she invented this thing. How does anyone but her have the world record? Anyway, Victor ends up beating her and Sarah obsesses over wanting the record. They get into a fight with a fast galactic ninja, where during the fight he drops his speed star, where Sarah uses it to enhance her hoverboard and wins. She cheated, and evil power stars are unstable. So the monster returns, there's some problems, I think, and they fight it. I mean, at least the special moves are flashy and fun to look at. And they destroy him, with Sarah giving back the trophy for using an evil hoverboard. Caught red-handed. The class are going on a school camping trip. The teacher's like, check out my antique compass. And Brody's all, my grandpa had one of those. Epic! Victor and Monty then have some shenanigans, and after the kerfuffle, the compass is in Brody's backpack. He stole it! He says he didn't. Yeah, this is the plot of over half the episode. We know he didn't steal it! Yada yada yada, it turns out it was accidentally knocked in there, a galactic ninja shows up, and they once again destroy it first try. Madame Odious then creates her own Megazord. It's powerful, but they need to retreat because they forgot to charge it. Once again, the Rangers had no impact on the events. Outfoxed. Yeah, I'm out of fox to give myself. So the Rangers need a powerful Zord to fight Madame Odious. The Prism then shows an image of 3 new three hooded figures walking out. They say these new Zords are the Blaze Zords. However, they only respond because they're more worthy could they be? But the Ninja Steel, they see a bunch of people in need, and despite where them worthy. This is so out of nowhere. Their powers. The new board